So here's my setup for a dry run of my new all-in-one CPU water cooler. This is the Deepcool 240EX. I got it off Newegg, and I saw some of the reviews that mentioned that it leaked when they got it. Maybe there was a bad production run, so I just wanted to leave it running overnight, not in the case, so that it wouldn't damage anything if it did leak. So the way I set it up, it takes, this is the power. You see it's a 3-pin fan connector. And I went to Fry's and I got this cable, which is a adapter from a 3-pin fan connector to Molex. And what happened was actually the orientation of these two pins in the Molex in like a plastic Molex connector was reversed. So what I actually did was I took the pins out of that plastic. If you can see on the pin, there's these two little fins here that normally they normally stick out and prevent you from pulling the pin out. So I took a knife, you could also take like a jeweler's screwdriver, and I pressed those pins flat so I could pull them out of the Molex connector. Anyway, so you can see that I have a modular power supply. Oh, actually, yeah, before we do that, I had to jump the power supply. So you can see here I have, I think it's a Corsair TX850M power supply. I left it in my case because I didn't want to take it out. So it's getting power from the wall. It's not on yet. And there's a lot of videos and guides for how to do this, but I took a safety pin, cut it in half, and I jumped the pin from the green wire to any black wire. And this tells the power supply that the computer wants to be on. And I originally used a paper clip, but it actually wasn't made of metal. So if you take like a multimeter, you can just measure the resistance of whatever you use. Any metal paper clip should work. Anyway, so now if I take the Molex connector from the power supply, and this, I have one directly from the power supply. We have another power supply that didn't have one, but if you have a modular PSU which doesn't have a cable like this, you can always buy one online. Power supply to Molex. Okay, so I'm putting the black pin in the black one here. And I have two choices. The red wire is 5 volts, the yellow is 12 volts. I used the yellow in this case. And then I'll first show it with this case fan that I have lying around. So again, here just making sure the cables line up, black to black, red to red. Now if I turn it on, fan turns on. Yay. Now if we do the same exercise with the water cooler, you can see, and if you look really closely, you can see the water flowing. The LED is on. So yeah, left it running all night and no leaks.